This is part 3 of the 200 TDI Defender 90 rebuild. In the first video I got it to rolling chassis stage, in the second video I put the engine and gearbox in, and in this video I'm painting and fitting the bulkhead, fitting brake lines. So I've got flexes to go on the front and back. We're doing copper from there around to there. I've got the copper pipe here, the bending tool, across the back axle, flex from there to here. I've got a fuel tank to go on. Bought that new, I've just painted it. I've swapped over these and got a new sender. That's ready to go on. In this box, a fuel tank bracket and everything needed for the fuel tank. And sills to go on once the bulkhead's on. But first I'm doing the brakes, brake lines from the calipers and the flexes, front and back. I'm starting with the front axle first, so I'm going to put a flexi on. Now that the flex is on, I've got a soft piece of wire that I'm going to bend in the shape that I want the copper pipe. Like that. And I can copy this in copper. I've got both bits of wire bent up from the front calipers. So now I can start making them out of the copper pipe using that wire as a guide. Before I do the last bends, the first and the last bend, I need to put the fittings on first, otherwise they won't fit in the flaring tool. There's two flares that I'll need to use, male and a female. So the female, it'll fit on there, like that. I'll need the male for the calipers. This is the flaring tool I'm using. So I'm starting off with op 1 for 3/16 brake pipe, which that's what this is. So op 1 will give me the male flare. So the brake pipe wants to be flush with the end and then can be clamped on. I'm just going with the op 1 until it stops. And that should be the male flare done. Like that. And then the female flare is the same. So you do op 1. You turn this around to op 2 and go in again. Like that. My front brake pipes are done now. So as standard they'd come down here, but I've done them over here because when it's on full lock it looks a bit close down there. So they're done. Now the back, I need to get a new bracket for the diff, for the T-piece to go on. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to put the fuel tank on. My fuel tank's on now, and I've made a bracket for the T-piece. So now it's just the brake pipes from the rear calipers to the T-piece, which I'll be bending up now, using a bit of wire first just to get the length that I need. And that's the brake pipes done for the back. So now I'm starting to prep my bulkhead for painting. The bulkhead is brand new galvanised, and I have already T-washed it and painted it with extra primer in the first video. I'm sanding it down with 400 grit sandpaper and then using an airline and panel wipe to get the dust off. The panel wipe I'm using is the fast drying version, which were a bit too fast, and I would have been better with the slow drying to give me a bit more time. I've got my bulkhead set up on the stand ready for painting. I just need to mix the paint. Because I'm painting it white, I've got a white primer to go on. So I'll mix the paint now. I'm using Genrock white primer, leaving around 10 minutes per coat. I'm making sure everywhere has a good covering, especially around the footwells and bottom of the vents where the usual rust spots are. Now the primer is fully dried, I'm sanding it down with 500 grit and then 600 grit sandpaper to get a smooth finish when the top coat goes on. After sanding, I've panel wiped to get all the dust off. I'm onto the top coat now. I've had the paint mixed to the original colour, which is Alpine White or Savarin White. The paint code is 456. As this is my first time painting, I'm aiming for a good finish, and I know it's not going to be a showroom quality, but I'm happy with the finish I got in the end. Bulkhead's fitted now, so I can swap the dashboard over from the old bulkhead onto this bulkhead and the pedals, and then run the brake pipes from the flexis up to the brake pedal and start building up from there. I'll also put the sills on from here and then line up the seat box, make sure that fits, because I need to do the repair panels on the seat box and battery box, so I can check they're right before I paint that. My engine's looked like this for a while now without the timing cover on, and that's because the bolt in that cover snapped. I've managed to drill it out and re-tap it so that can go back on. I need to paint the pump, and I'll paint this when it's on so it matches the rest. Then my water pump can go on, which I've got down here. New bolts for that cover, and then a silicone hose kit for everywhere. So I'll put that on now. And that's the front of my engine back together. Silicone hose is on, so I've just got to do the fuel lines and the wiring. I've got brake pedals on, so I've got new servo, new cylinder, and the gaskets. I made new gaskets. I bought some gasket material and just cut them out. So there's that one. cut this thinner stuff and then the thick one for in there to the bulkhead.